Right when we started, you come
wow,
down. Right when we
timing.
started. Wow.
Perfect
I
time.
finally got it to work.
Yay. Now we're live. And like I said, she just came on right when I hit start. So congratulations.
It's okay. Her phone's going to die in 20 minutes.
Shut up! I haven't charged it. I have it in the charger the right way this time, so it won't die. I need a new phone or a new battery for the phone.
All right. So we'll do kind of the same way as last time. Just have questions or...
I don't know. Like the last time we had set questions. This time we're just kind of having a discussion about anything that anyone wants to talk about.
Okay.
And we can start with how we're going to acquire land.
Yeah. So like how would that work then, Miss Young Lady?
Wait, are we doing any sort of intro for people that are watching? Like,
We should probably do that, because if you didn't watch the first one, then nobody would know.
Last time on Hapa Ethnostate.
Yeah, so the last time we did that, right? And Amos was on the far left. Guess which side he's on this time?
Far right?
No, you're still far left. I'm sorry.
Oh, fuck. That's what I get for joining first.
Yeah, I don't even think that happens because, like, Leaf came in last, and she's like the second to the right. I don't know. It's weird how
different for everybody's screen.
Yeah,
I'm on the far right in my screen, but then that's probably on everyone's screen.
Yeah, we're on the far right too, as we are politically. Anyway, I'm just kidding. Anyway, so we go ahead and do introductions. I'll let Amos go first. So yeah, go ahead.
Being on the far left. My name is Amos Joseph. I run the Shitlord Preachers podcast on Thursdays at 11 a.m. Central Time. Got a lot of guests on. So I had Hapa Supremacy on. We're thinking about having Pat on, talking about commies, and probably other people too. So
Commies get the rope.
They get the helicopter.
There you
go. But yeah, that's me.
Okay. Mara.
You're up.
I am just your average friendly neighborhood racist.
Sounds good to me.
Especially with that avatar.
No one answered the question. Is he Hapa?
He's not. He's not a Hapa.
What?
We have an infiltrator.
Are we throwing him off the cliff?
No. He gets honorary status in the Hapa Ethnostate.
Yeah, you want to know why though? Do you want to know why he has why he's able to be in there?
Special breeder exemption. What?
What?
Oh, they died.
We threw the wrong person off the cliff.
How are they going to do their own live stream?
Shit. What?
Are we still online?
Don't do that.
We are.
Wow.
What the hell?
Well, I guess is a takeover. The proletariat has rebelled. And
what happened? Like our completely fucked, and Amos just like completely disappeared.
We've taken over the means of streaming.
What the hell happened?
Apparently, and it turned our camera.
Oh, there you go. The camera's back on.
Anyway, what happened to Amos? This is a great stream so far, guys. Absolutely amazing.
It's wonderful.
Yeah, but anyway, Pat, go ahead and.
Unless you already introduced yourself.
Yeah, sorry, we didn't even hear anything.
Well, I'm Pat, and I basically am here to own some commies. So hi.
Oh, there he is. Cool.
What the hell? You guys dropped, and I just froze. I was like still seeing myself, but like everyone froze.
That same thing happened to us.
Yeah, literally everything is froze. So yeah, okay. Leaf, you're next. I am
the best Leaf ever, and that is all I'm going to say. Oh, also, this is your reminder that waiters are not entitled to tips.
Oh, here we go again.
Oh yeah, that was good. You know, that was good.
If you want to rage about that in the comments again, feel free to do so.
I'll rage about that because I used to be a professional cook and I worked in like top level kitchens in New York City and everything, and it's kind of bullshit. Like the waiters, all they have to do is bring food from point A to point B.
They're plate taxis.
Yeah, and
they're fucking.
Plate taxis.
The cooks don't get any of the tips, so it's just like.
I was literally talking about this. I was like, I'll tip a dishwasher before I'll tip a fucking plate taxi.
Dude,
Even the dishwashers do more work than them.
Now-
I feel sorry for
that's
dishwashers.
a fucking hard ass job.
Even though they're not entitled, I mean, don't we all still kind of tip on some level? Like we just don't we like kind of out of habit do that though? I'm not saying like we have to, but we just do.
I don't.
They don't tip
I don't
anywhere
believe in
else in the
rewarding.
world.
I don't believe in rewarding people who do a mediocre job or people who do a half-ass job or the bare minimum of what they're required to do. Now, if someone's busting their ass, and you can tell when someone's busting their ass, and they're going above and beyond of what your expectations are, yeah, I'll tip. But if they're just doing the bare minimum because they think they'll get a tip anyway, yeah, no, fuck you. But they'll starve. It's like, okay, good. Maybe they'll learn to stop being entitled little cunts.
If you go to places like China and you try to tip, like it's seen as an insult.
They're gonna chase you.
Hey, don't tell me about China.
No, I'm serious. Like if you tip in China,
No,
they'll see
I
it
know.
as an
It's the same
insult.
thing in it's the same thing in Japan. They'll straight up chase you out of the fucking restaurant and yell at you
Mhm.
because you're basically insinuating that they're poor and they look poor and they don't like that very much.
In Chinese, the word for tip literally means small fee.
Mm.
It doesn't even mean like tip. We see it as like it just seems like something extra.
Right.
In Chinese, it's literally seen as like a fee. So maybe there's a different connotation. Like they just don't.
It's funny to me.
Yeah.
Does Vesuvius have a microphone, or is he just there?
Who? Me?
No, Vesuvius. Vesuvius.
Oh, he has a
Mic
mic.
issues. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So yeah, whenever you get the mic to work, then you can yell and then he can get our attention.
Everybody's not you.
So I guess we're talking about tipping or something.
Now we're talking about.
Yeah.
Will there be tipping in the Ethnostate?
You know what's funny though about that is we went to a comedy show last night, and there's an automatic automatic tip added into it. So you have no
Gratuity?
Yeah, gratuity. Yeah, you're basically automatically tip 18%.
Yo.
So
There's a lot of places like that here.
Mhm.
yeah, cow tipping still. Yeah, for real. Cow. You just tip the cow and they shit, and there you go.
Yeah, and then I step in it apparently.
Yeah, throw your shoes away. That's a real event that actually happens.
Yeah, on Friday I stepped in cow poop when I was trying to look at the cows. And then I had to go to the trash chute and throw out my shoes and then walk home barefoot.
That sounds really depressing.
It was very depressing. We're gonna buy her.
You are?
Was she noticeably even shorter without her shoes?
Because I was wearing heeled shoes.
Yeah, a couple inches tall.
Yeah.
Platform shoes.
Isn't
So
it
instead
like,
of being
Still comes the right
7, she's 5.
basically.
wasn't that the original purpose of heels was to have it so that French ladies didn't have to walk in crap?
Oh.
I don't know. I thought it was just for the form of like the legs, thighs, and ass. I thought that was what thighs were for.
No, 'cause
It's like
I think I
Thighs are
read
for-
somewhere that like there's so much human, or not even human, but there's so much feces in the streets of like Paris that they invented heels so they didn't have to get any on their feet.
Like horse feces?
That's the first I've heard of that.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, the biggest problem solved by cars was horse feces.
Yeah, that's true.
How do you want to steer this in the right direction?
Yeah, I didn't really have a plan. I was hoping that somebody would want to talk about something.
Cultural appropriation.
Oh, we can talk about
Yeah,
that.
there you go. Cool.
Oh yeah, perfect.
The cheapao.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
how many
like,
people were offended about that?
Cultural appropriation.
Oh, we can talk about
yeah, there you
that.
go. Cool. Okay.
Somebody said-
So we're culturally appropriate. We're drinking Coronas.
Hmm.
And then we had some tortilla chips with salsa earlier. So I think we did our appropriation today to celebrate the 5th of May.
I had Taco Bell today.
There you go.
Taco Bell is disgusting.
That's not
Yo, is this working?
food.
Oh yeah, we hear you.
Oh,
Wait, you can hear me?
Yeah.
Oh shit!
hey.
I figured out how to computer like a normal person.
Awesome. So now you can introduce yourself and tell us who you are.
So I'm some random ass person on Twitter, and I'm Hapa, so I'm here. Like that's the only
That's the
requirement.
That was the greatest intro ever. Some random ass.
Yeah,
Person who says things.
Yeah, I piss people off and say things.
Yeah, I think that's how it usually goes, right?
Yeah.
So, cultural appropriation. What's so bad about it?
Nothing.
The term is always used wrong by social justice warriors. The real definition was when people would take things from another culture and try to claim it came from their culture. And then fucking social justice warriors were like, no, it means when you do something that's from another culture because you like it, that's cultural appropriation. Like, you know, the chick, the high school chick that was bullied for her fucking prom dress because how dare you wear a Chinese dress, you fucking whitey. And he never. I have a Chinese dress, and I posted the picture and added the dude who like sent his mob after her, and he didn't. He never responded. I was like, I told him I was half Japanese and asked him if he had a problem with it. He never replied.
Didn't the guy who first did the whole "my culture is not your prom dress" right? Someone found some old tweet that he said like, "I'm having tamales while doing this."
Well, yeah, he was eating tamales with chopsticks.
And he's like, "This is what America's about."
Yeah.
and that's kind of true. I mean, it's a little bit silly, but it's like, yeah, you can do whatever you want, but like,
it's hypocritical.
You're contradicting yourself.
It just sounds like he's taking advantage of like the times. You know, oh, it's cool and hip to be SAW and be anti-Trump, so here I am doing my part.
And he's a minority.
Right.
Wait, he said he was a changed man, and then people found stuff like 2 days before that were racist, so it was pretty funny.
That's what they all say. Some politicians say, "Hey, I used to be against gay marriage, but now I am."
No. They're really against gay marriage, and then they get caught in a prostitution ring with like 5 guys in a hotel room. That's what happens.
Or they get caught with like getting a blowjob in their office.
Exactly.
A dude getting another guy. So yeah.
I find it highly ironic that a lot of people who argue cultural appropriation, like the SJW crowd, they also tend to be like Marxists in some form of ideological belief, and they inherently believe that property shouldn't exist, yet they're treating culture as if it's property.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Well,
how can it be theft if it's not even?
they're actually stealing. They're not actually stealing, you know.
Yeah, but you're stealing their culture by wearing the dress.
Yeah, appropriation is theft.
Yeah.
It's like how rent is theft.
Dude, okay, so rent being theft is stupid because you're like, you know, the place you're gonna rent, you know, apartment or whatever, has a set price on how much you have to spend a month. You make that choice to spend that money.
Yeah, I've heard most people. I don't understand. They're like, I'm an anarcho-communist, and rent is theft.
Have you, okay, just not to give it any credit, but have you actually heard the argument as to why? Like the logic they follow?
Mm-hmm.
Basically, what is it? Like just because you're using property for something besides producing? or something?
It's because the rent owner or the landowner is not actively using the property. Because the whole idea behind communism is that the bare minimum needs of society is being met, and part of that needs is using all available technology to produce that bare minimum. So if you just have a plot sitting there and you're not using it, then it gives, in a communist eyes, somebody else the right to live there.
This is where they have the problem with property rights.
Mm-hmm.
Can we talk about how cucked the British Army is? Because it's pretty fucking cucked, man. There's this dumb fucking cunt that was crying because she was I guess going through the training, and an army instructor is now facing a court martial because he made her cry.
Ooh,
That's pretty messed up.
Hold on. I'm gonna send you guys. I'm gonna send the Hapa's link, and maybe they can screen
That's so
share.
stupid. Like,
She's such.
I mean,
it wasn't even that bad. Like, he's just yelling at her, which is
hasn't the U.S. military then the U.S. Armed Forces have like dialed down their basic training too? I've heard.
Yes.
Yeah.
The U.S. military has.
So I went through basic training in 2010. And I went through the Coast Guard, which if you rank difficulty of boot camp, the Coast Guard is second behind the Marines because we went directly off of the Marines. And when I went through, it was tough as hell. Like, people were getting injured left and right. And so after I went through, about 2 years after I went through 2012-ish, they implemented a safe word that you can say to get the boot camp instructors off your ass if they're pushing you too hard. And what they found is it reduces boot camp injury by like 70%. Like, it's very significant.
But
it also lowers the quality of candidates that actually make it through boot camp.
what was the safe word?
I don't know.
Pineapple.
Pickles.
Shut up, Mara. Check your Twitter DMs, Nicolette, because I sent the article and it has the video. And if you guys want to screen share
This
that.
reminds me, a Marine instructor actually got drilled out and sent to Leavenworth
That's why
because one of his former recruits actually went and killed himself afterwards because his own words, he was racist and abusive. Some parts of it could be seen abusive. Apparently, they put him in dryers and spun him around a little bit.
What the
But
That's pretty funny.
it's funny. It's actually not that. It can be really dangerous if you leave them in for a long time, but if you put them in for like
No shit.
1 minute,
If you switch to
Not that
high
big of a
city,
deal.
right?
That's like saying
but that's
like you can put a cat inside a microwave for like 2 seconds.
yeah. Well, that's a little bit different.
Okay.
But the real argument came from the fact that the recruit was Muslim, and the instructor.
Okay,
Whoa.
they're gonna play the video of the little bitch crying.
That inception.
That face.
See, no, this just reinforces my belief that women don't belong in the military.
By the way,
I
you
don't know
guys
the
should
video,
when you
where
guys
the
do
video
screen
is
share,
on.
it's
I don't know
better
where the
to
video is
do.
in the web browser or on the desktop article. On mine, it's at the very top, though.
That's not even abusive. They've got the shit captured right there at the top. It's like, are you a killer or a mouse? It's like, no, Sergeant, I'm a little bitch.
I got a whole
Can you guys
bunch of
see the
stories.
video there or no?
I see pictures of someone looking sad. That's about it.
Why is she?
Show me your
Hold on.
war face.
You know what?
Okay.
I'm gonna try to play the audio through my phone because
Why does
I have the not even.
Why does her helmet look like it's from like? Any guys ever seen Starship Troopers?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude,
See
that was
the
a good
helmet?
movie. Yeah.
Looks like it.
It looks like that because she doesn't have it on properly.
I have
She's
some.
trying to hide her crying face with it.
I have some really good abusive stories from boot camp, though. If you want to hear about real abuse.
You know, what a shocker.
Oh,
that-
there's a video. Was that's
That's
video
so
right
bad.
there? You can play it.
Get in there, kill it then.
Where's your aggression? You were crying? What are you crying? You are not a killer.
Kill.
Yeah, if she can't handle that, I think
is she-
war is going to be too much.
I don't know. I guess
Right?
he's
And now he's getting a fucking court martial because some dumb bitch cried and couldn't handle.
I mean,
what you're gonna have to do in fucking war.
She should be the general of the British Army.
Oh, there we go.
Who is that? Who are you? Who are you? Why are you here? To kill who? Get here now. Get here. Get here. Get down. Get down. Get down, security. Sit me.
who's recording this?
Why are you here?
The instructor.
Killer or mouse? Killer! Are you a killer? Show me a war face. That's not a war face. Why the f*** you got pierced in your tongue? You are not a killer. Get the f*** here now. Get here. Get the f*** here.
Is she like shooting off her gun?
No.
No, that's probably in the background.
Get out of that position. Take it. Go. Kill it, man. Where's your aggression?
Wow, this is like the shittiest GoPro I've ever seen.
Oh God! Oh God! I thought
Nah, it's like an iPhone 3GS.
Let's get on river. You are me.
Shot in vertical.
I don't even know they could.
Get down. Get down. Hey, get here. Get down. Stand up.
Well, I guess this worked out though. I made popcorn, so.
You're crying. Why are you crying now? Because you done it. Have you? Get back down now. Get back down.
That's just fucking.
You're nowhere near the end. Get through there now. Get through.
Oh my god.
This seems like trolling.
I want to know why there's a knife on that gun, because I thought they were banned in the UK.
Bayonets?
Nice.
Wasn't the mayor in London trying to ban all knives? That seems kind of
This is
inappropriate right
literally if Gordon Ramsay
knives
was a
are
fucking
banned,
army
actually.
instructor.
So when I was in the Coast Guard, one of our girls got in trouble for looking around, and we have a saying in the military called "eyes in the boat," which means you just stand there looking forward, just not looking at anything, not moving around at all. And so they had our company line up in rank, and we wore these stupid blue ball caps. And like 15 minutes later, this girl came down, and she had a picture of a boat taped to the front of her visor. So that was all she was looking at. And she walked around our rank, like in and out, saying "eyes in the boat, shipmate" for 2 hours.
What was she just literally just looked like to the left and right or something?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, gee.
Boot camp is all about breaking a person down and instilling discipline. The fact that they're creating such a fuss over something like this is just pathetic. It just shows the breakdown of the military and why the UK is a fucking joke of a government.
I mean, thank God we got independence from them.
Well, it's not. I mean, it's getting pretty bad in the U.S. as well. In the military for the U.S. Army, I've been told that they have stress cards where you can have them around your neck, and when things get too rough, you just pull them up. That's ridiculous.
Really?
Yeah.
Yep. And when you get into an actual field of operations or your designated assignment, like that will not save you at all.
You gotta show your war face.
Well, see, here's the problem. Is that this recent corruption and cuckoldry of the armed forces of many Western nations is not. The government realizes that it is weak. Like the German military can't fight a war. The majority of all of its equipment is not combat ready. They have like 4 Leopard tanks and like 4 Eurofighters that are actually ready for combat. Everything else is not combat ready. If Germany fought a war right now, they'd be fucking just destroyed outright by a small nation. They'd fucking whoop Germany's ass. The thing is that this has to do with political power. They're instilling these policies in the military because if you look for majority of nations, the majority of people who serve in the militaries are extremely right wing. They're really conservative. Only a few branches of the U.S. military do you have that are more left wing. Like the Air Force and the Navy are more left wing, but if you look at the Army and the Marine Corps, it's almost entirely, it's like 80 to 90% right wing. And you see this kind of policy because they're attempting to purge the composition of the military to instill it with political yes men. Obama did it during his tenure. He sacked the majority of commanders that were competent and replaced them with yes men that would say yes, yes, yes to, you know, his leftist agenda. And it's pathetic.
Like what?
But I mean, it comes from the fact that a lot of nations are looking, well, not a lot of nations, but a lot of the corrupt governments are looking to control their people. And you can't control your people if you don't control the military. A lot of these nations only somewhat control the military in the form of a war, but they can't get the military to actually turn on the populace. Like they've estimated what would happen if there was a civil war in the United States, and the majority of the ground forces would turn on the federal government itself if it was deemed that the federal government was turning on the citizens and starting a war.
That's because there's such a stark difference between officers and enlisted personnel. Like a lot of enlisted personnel, especially older geezers, don't respect especially younger officers at all. There is a level of respect. They need to work together, which they have. But as far as following orders, like everybody knows what the order is, the pure political one.
God damn, it's loud.
That popcorn's loud.
Oh, is that outside?
Yeah, how do you hear the eating?
Wait, can you hear me eating the popcorn or just
Yeah, we
shaking
can
my
hear
head?
it. We hear everything.
Oh. I'm sorry.
It feels like I'm eating it.
You were talking about how Obama basically was sacked like a lot of the commanders or whatever.
Oh yeah, he sacked dozens of generals.
But you could say the same thing about when Bush was president, because Bush was doing what he wanted to do, and everyone was like, okay, I guess, because everyone wanted to do the same thing he wanted to do. And then that's what I was saying with the leftist agenda. Like, what leftist agenda are you talking about?
Well, here's the real red pill. There really isn't much of a difference between Bush or Obama.
Right.
Yeah.
The majority of their policies were all the same. You had one that was, you know, I love God and country. And then you had the other one that said we need change, but the policies were all the same. They did the same stupid shit.
Yeah,
and
Obama had a chance to do something different, and he didn't do it. He had a chance. He could have been a great president. You could have. I'm not saying flipped. People who didn't like him, but at the very least, maybe like, okay, I guess. But at the same time,
well, see, here's the thing: they blame it all on racism, but in fact, when Obama actually first got into office, he was a lot of whites actually gave him a chance. He got the overwhelming majority vote, and they fucked it up hardcore.
Yeah,
but
he didn't do what he promised.
Smart. I mean, he was smart. And a lot of the people who were against Bush just completely just flew away and disappeared.
Well, see, that's just partisanship. You have a lot of idiots that will suck off the GOP and scream, "We are good Christians" and shit, while also simultaneously putting Israel's interest over America's. Which is why I fucking hate neocons. Well, okay, so here's the irony. If you declare yourself a good Christian, you should at least know the dichotomy and difference between Christianity and Judaism and why they're not friendly with each other. People read the Bible and think like everyone in the Bible is a Jew. They're not. They're Israelites. The Jews going around telling everyone that Israelites were Jewish is one of the great lies. They actually rewrote the Bible. Oh my God, I'm going off on a tangent here. I'm sorry.
We're in the Hapa Ethnostate talking about the Bible and politics and shit.
Well, I mean, it's relevant. If you look at the if you look at neocons, they're basically leftists that pretend to be Christians. And this is where they get a lot of their hardcore support. They talk about their Christian faith, but if you look at all the things that they do, anything that Jesus actually preached, the majority of the shit they actually do goes completely against it. If you look at their policies, none of them are actually conservative. They're at best center left. If you look at if the neocons, if the GOP was actually conservative, our border would have been closed the minute Trump got into office, because we had Congress, we had House. They could have just forced it in. They said, look, we're closing the border, we're securing it. But what do we have? We have one of the worst spending bills in the history.
They seem like super butthurt that Trump won, that they don't even want to help him, even if his idea makes sense. It's like
because Trump's an outsider. But they've basically
super butthurt. I mean, holy shit! You see all the celebrities, they're just like, "Oh, fuck this guy, fuck him. I'm gonna move to Canada. I'm moving out of the country." Okay,
and none of them ever moved. Big shocker.
I wouldn't want to move.
What?
Well, the GOP is basically like one of the biggest controlled opposition coups in history. Neocons are basically Trotskyites that left the left because of their distaste for Stalin and a few other things. So basically, all neocons are like they're just leftists. They're leftists that love war and pretend they like Christianity. People still vote for them, though.
Yeah.
You can see that I black-pilled all of you.
No, it's just kind of off topic.
So
we didn't have a topic, right?
Well, we were talking about cultural appropriation, and somehow Shane went on a rant about Obama.
I didn't go on a rant. What are you talking about?
Well, you were talking. You got into your own little like political thing, and I'm like,
I know. I'm sorry. I go off on tangents sometimes. And
then we were talking about
one thing, and I
Jews.
just go and go.
You appropriated the conversation.
I don't even know how we got.
Imagine that, the non-Hapa appropriating the conversation.
Oh man, it was that white privilege. We just had to listen to him, you know.
Oh dear.
Does that mean that he was white?
Have more me.
I believe that was just me colonizing the conversation.
That's a good one.
This is the part where we started going like this.
You know what?
Colonizer.
Military, and then we're talking about the military or whatever.
So what are we gonna do about this Hapa military?
Yeah, that's bad. You just need a military.
How long would the basic training be if we were gonna do the army? Would it be like the Marines?
First, we're gonna have to like hijack all the Hapa personnel in the military. Take all of them.
Would it be a mandatory kung fu or something? Give them nunchucks just to really mess with people.
They have to watch Enter the Dragon. Like that's the mandatory movie watch. You must watch every Bruce Lee movie and every Jackie Chan movie in the 80s. You're good.
What about
Jet Li in the 90s? You're good.
Oh yeah, I was just about to say, what about Jet Li, man? Even Jet Li out.
What about Donnie Yen?
Ooh, yeah, him too.
Yeah, Donnie Yen's good. Yeah, you make him watch these movies while yelling at him.
What about Charin Fat? Just name off all of them.
Have you guys ever watched Jackie Chan's like Hong Kong films?
They're so good.
Yeah, I have.
Like any early Jackie Chan stuff is amazing.
What's your favorite Jackie Chan movie?
Mine would be First Strike, just because of the ladder scene.
Okay. That one was pretty good, yeah.
I actually have a hard time getting hold of some of his older films. We do have a lot of his older films from Hong Kong and from early Hollywood, though.
Oh, really?
There's this one movie, I can't remember the name, but basically he's working with a three-man crew, and they basically kidnap a baby.
Robbie Hood.
Yeah, that's the name. It was a good movie. I really liked it.
What's the one with the motorcycle scene where he jumps on top of a train?
Super Cop. Police Story 3, Super Cop.
I've been wanting to see that, and I haven't been able to find it.
No, I think the motorcycle. I don't know if you're talking about if that's what you're talking about, because the motorcycle, there is Michelle Yeoh does it in that movie where she's on a dirt bike or something. She jumps on. She rides.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
So of course Jackie Chan has to do one better, and I'm gonna be on a helicopter and fly over Kuala Lumpur. So fuck you. Oh yeah, Michelle. Oh yeah. Competition and all that good stuff.
I'm getting into a Twitter fight with Patrick Tomlinson right now.
Oh man.
Wait, who?
The guy hasn't blocked you yet?
No. I just created a new account, so he hasn't had the chance.
He's like, wait, is this the same guy?
We lost sleeve.
Dude, I want to read that guy's books. They have to be so bad.
I see them on my Amazon recommendations. I'm just like, no.
What the heck?
Wait, who's this guy?
3/5 compromise. Tell me a little bit about the 3/5 compromise. Oh, geez.
He's saying that the 3/5 compromise. He's arguing with redheaded libertarian right now, and he's saying Jay basically said that the 3/5 compromise was for slaveholders, for their slaves to have an equal vote without actually giving them a chance to vote. And Tomlinson is arguing that it's just Tomlinson is calling her racist because she says that the 3/5 compromise was to appease slave owners.
Oh yeah, it was. It was to give slave owners a larger vote.
Mm-hmm.
It, like most of history, has been basically perverted.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but it makes sense that he's having the arguments he's making because the guy has written science fiction novels.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, whoa. Hey, science fiction is good stuff.
Yeah, it really qualifies you to talk about American history.
Oh, it's the history of the future.
I'm a future historian.
That's a great title.
Okay, so apparently someone said, read some history. The Electoral College and the 3/5 Compromise were both established to appease slaveholders, is what Shecky said. So she said just the opposite. The 3/5 Compromises was established because the slaveholders wanted their slaves to have equal votes, which could have given enough representation to keep slavery legal. Oh my God. And so he quoted that and said, everyone just take a breath of clean air, then read this white supremacist revisionism bullshit.
That's how it always goes.
I don't know. I guess, I don't know. I guess he's oh yeah, he's totally anti-Trump. Okay.
He's
wrong.
He's pretty famous for it. Yeah.
Okay. He said, and democracy elected Clinton, since you've forgotten. It elected Bill, but HRC lost, since you've forgotten. Wrong. It elected both Clintons. Trump lost the election by 2.85 million votes, since you can't count. Narrator, he means President Trump.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, that's funny.
Democracy. That was anyways.
Yeah, to get back into a more important topic, someone said that Rumble in the Bronx is the best Jackie Chan movie to date. Thoughts?
That's a pretty good argument.
In the Bronx. I don't think I've watched that in a while.
If you want to go with mainstream Jackie Chan movies, then yeah, I would agree with that.
Okay. Yeah, and then you said one of you said First Strike.
Yeah, I did.
Drunken Master though is really good too.
Oh, Drunken Master is really good.
1 or 2?
1.
Oh, okay.
Most entertaining like recent kung fu themed movie, not necessarily like a kung fu movie. Entertaining, not so much like. Okay.
In terms of choreographed art, fighting style, definitely Ip Man.
Yeah, Ip Man was amazing.
I didn't watch the new Ip Man. I watched the first two. I watched part of the last one, but was because it was on TV. And
I will say this about Ip Man 3: the fight between him and Mike Tyson is really good. Yeah, it's actually pretty good.
I did see that part. Yeah, it was good.
It's not like amazing, like oh my god, it's like the greatest fight ever, but it's pretty good. I mean, it's not
satisfying.
I think it was more interesting than a lot of the other martial arts fights because it was completely two different styles. It was hard boxing versus what does Ip Man use?
Wing Chun.
Wing Chun.
Yeah, Wing Chun. I think that's what people like to see most is differing styles go up against each other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and someone also was speaking of Jet Li, said Fist of Legend is the best Jet Li movie. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
And then someone was saying that they didn't know what the name of it was, but it's when Jackie Chan plays a pair of twins. It's called Twin Dragons.
Oh yeah.
That's a movie.
Have you guys actually known anyone that knew any kung fu? Like legit knew kung fu?
You mean studied and trained, or what do you mean? Because I took it.
Yeah, like studied and trained, but like at like master level.
No.
I mean, I took it for like 14 years or something, but it's like I consider like MMA. If someone taking that for like 3 years could probably beat me. So, it's I mean, you tend to realize like, man, I should have been taking jiu-jitsu or something after a while. But that's just me.
Okay, so speaking of the Hapa Ethnostate, Steel Rain asks, will the Hapa Ethnostate have peace treaties since they can't join the Ethnostate? So are we going to have peace treaties? Like someone said,
probably like peaceful coexistence kind of stuff, I guess.
Peace trees. I thought you said pastries for a second.
We should talk
pastries will have that.
Pastries.
Pastries.
Yeah, any nation could have a peace treaty. It's not that hard. Kind of reminds me, I got into an argument with some other person that because I said I'm a bit of an isolationist, and they're like, oh, you just want to cut off from the rest of the world. It's like, you don't have to. You can be isolationist and not want, cut everything off from the rest of the world. You could have an ethnostate that has bilateral defense nations with other people of different races, as provided you actually get along with the nation. I mean, hell, you have Poland and Germany are both in NATO, and they fucking hate each other. But
What will border security be? Sorry, I'm sorry. Go ahead. What you were saying? Sorry.
No, I was just saying you can have peace treaties and just peacefully coexist. It doesn't really mean much. When it really makes a difference, I think, is like if you're actually like crossing each other's borders, then that's the issue.
That's true.
Well, we'll build a wall, and that will be fine, right?
It'll be the Great Wall 2.
Well, the wall of Jackie Chan.
Yeah, we're gonna build the wall, and we're gonna have we'll have like the Spanish people pay for it or something.
Well, if you have enough money, you can go of two ways to actually form a legit nation.
We'll have the wall, and the kung fu movie industry will pay for it. Advertising space.
It will be their movie prop.
It'll work.
Oh God, that scared me.
Shane, did you jack those chairs from some cafe?
Oh, we actually got them from. I think we got them from Big Lots.
No. Wait, which one are you? Oh, the one back there.
Yeah,
that is from Big Lots.
But you're right though. They have the nice design of the cups. You want some coffee? There's your coffee right there.
No, see, they look like the super cheesy, like Taiwanese coffee cafes. So in Taiwan, you have a lot of these cafes that are like they try to be super westernized, but they have like the cheesiest shit, like those chairs.
Yeah.
And then they'll have like generic like jazz like themed stuff on the walls. Just stuff that's supposed to look westernized and like hip, but like nothing works together.
You know what that reminds me of? You know, like those like when you shop at Asian stores or like in other countries, they try to write things in English on their shirts and it makes no sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, go to Taiwan or China for that stuff.
Yeah, I have we went to China to get our wedding photos taken, and we went through it was like a 14-hour day. It was like 5 different outfits, and like they gave us like a really nice picture book. But in the picture book, there's like English phrases in it, and they just make no sense whatsoever.
What were some of the good ones?
This is like I can't even remember. It's been so long since I looked at it.
See, I could imagine them doing like "love is forever," but "for" and "ever" there's a space between them. Just sometimes.
No, it was just like complete English that did not make any sense whatsoever.
What, like this is a happy day? I've seen stuff like that. Like,
it was like togetherness is a new thing or something like that.
There were signs in public in Taiwan when I was there. So public signs, like you would have signs that like just regular signs all over the place, and these were like, your regular like street signs, which means someone in the government actually put this up. No shitting or pissing in the streets.
That's amazing.
pretty sad.
That's a good policy.
Are we gonna have one of those?
And then 2 blocks down the road, there's a guy like pissing in a corner.
Oh, of course.
But it wasn't even like no defecating or urination, like just no shitting or pissing.
Well, LA has that problem now. California does.
LA has that problem.
Well, LA is weird because it's like everyone thinks of the crowded part of it, but most of LA is just like farmland. So
I've heard LA is pretty much going to be Detroit 2.0.
Or it already kind of is. California itself as a whole is already a bankrupt state.
Yeah.
They're literally billions of dollars in debt. The state itself.
But it's not real communism, though. Remember that.
Have you guys read that article that Jack retweeted about how California is such a great state?
What?
No, I didn't see that.
Oh, Jack from Twitter?
Yeah, like the one that caused a big uproar because it said that the left can't afford to follow the democratic process anymore.
What even is the democratic process?
Of having a Democratic and Republican election every 4 years.
According to some news articles that have come out today, California is now the world's 5th largest economy, bigger than Britain.
See, here's what's funny about that. California has that because of the Silicon Valley and Hollywood. But you take that away, and it's a shit-poor nation. California actually has one of the largest inequalities out of practically any of the states in the union. If California became its own state, it would be I think it was the 17th most unfair and like inequality nations in the world if it was become a nation of its own. So basically, you have a lot of rich people, and the rest are all.
You watched Black
broke.
Pigeon Speaks, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that same one. It's pretty good.
But isn't that because there's so many rich people there to make that imbalance bigger? When you have like a different state that wouldn't have that many millionaires.
Well, yeah, you do have that. California used to be a really large farm state, and it still relatively is. And it does have a huge trade port over there in San Diego and some of the other ports. But the fact of the matter is that they have so much. They have so many people there. They don't have enough jobs for everyone. the majority of the jobs aren't paying enough. Cost of living is insane. Even if you did have decent paying jobs, for the most part, people still wouldn't be able to live there nicely, comfortably. And so the thing is that, yeah, you do have far more millionaires and billionaires living there than you would in many other states. But the fact of the matter is that the wealth does not flow down for the most part. And that's where the inequality comes from.
But hey, $11 an hour is the minimum wage. Super progressive, guys.
Well, it's like 14, 15 in San Francisco, but you're also like the rent is going to be like 2,800 if you want a studio. So, yeah, I mean, a lot of the problems is with the cities and not the rest of California, though, because I mean the rent's crazy. Like I live near San Fran, but if you go farther out, it's going to be super cheap.
So you're saying if like you were saying, Amara, that if Silicon Valley and Hollywood, if they took those economies out, California would basically be a shithole?
Oh, well, it already is a shithole. Like outside of the elite areas, California is basically another part of Mexico for half of the state. You've got rampant crime all over the place. The streets. You remember when I going back to the shitting problem, is that it's actually so bad that they had an HIV breakout because of the shitting, and you actually had dozens of people dying from it.
They had to bleach the sidewalks.
HIV.
Oh yeah, it was hilarious.
Poop.
Yeah, they wouldn't clean it up for the longest time because they thought power washing the streets was racist. And I shit you not. No.
Oh my God, that's retarded.
That would be
How's that racist?
You could call it the next HPV, human virus.
I believe their logic was that it harkened back to the 50s and 60s where they used to hit blacks with power washing during demonstrations. I don't know how you go with that, but I never ever considered leftists to be intelligent.
Another thing about California is one of the reasons why our food is so cheap is that a lot of it comes from California, and they use illegal labor or underpaid labor.
You have so many illegals in California, which actually exacerbates the problem. I'm actually currently trying to look up the unemployment rate, but you factor that in with the amount of illegals in the state.
You can't even reliably measure it just because nothing is reported.
Oh well, yeah. There's that. They love to not report things properly. But the thing is though that all of these illegals basically get first pick in welfare systems, healthcare, and whatnot. And it's really sick. And so you have this major drain of people, and it just gets worse and worse because they just accept more people in, and that just exacerbates the labor problem and cost problem. And this is why fucking leftists are so stupid. They're just like, oh, look, we need more people. Don't you want to be more tolerant and diverse? And this is why these idiots trash every economy they go to. You can start to see this happening in Houston.
Yeah.
Don't come to Texas.
Yeah. Keep out, please. That's racist. If you tell people to stay out, that's racist.
Okay. That's why we gotta have really good border security.
Oh yeah, there was someone in the chat was asking, what's the border gonna look like? What's the border patrol gonna look like?
We're not gonna let in the illegals.
They're all gonna be wearing kung fu outfits.
Yeah.
Well, if you really
fireworks at people,
oh, go ahead.
I was just saying, if you're gonna be like really serious about border security, all you gotta do is just put landmines down.
Oh, yeah, that would be fucked up.
Watch your step.
I mean, Vietnam did it.
Well,
Take
yeah,
your shoes off.
Korea definitely has that.
Well, no, I see. It's really hilarious. We can go out to the world and spend billions defending other people's borders, but heaven forbid we even spend a couple million defending ours. Part of the spending bill appropriated, I think it was like $12 billion, some shit like that, to help strengthen the border of Jordan and Israel. But Trump had to sneak in border security under the DoD and put it under Defense of the Nation rather than what it usually sits under to get it actual funding. But it's really ridiculous.
Wasn't he wanting to send the National Guard down to the border?
He did, but they basically let everyone in. They held them up for like a day or whatever. They turned some of them back. They kept telling them, "Oh, sorry, we are at full capacity." But in the end, they let something like 50 caravans in.
Was it due to just political pressure, or they were just, or what?
Political pressure and technically by law. See, the thing is that all of these caravans, all of these people, they claimed asylum, and by international law, we have to let them in and go over their case and whatnot.
If their feet hit our soil, we have to let them in. If we stop them before their feet hit the soil, they can't come in.
So turrets then.
Oh yeah.
It depends on what country they come from. So when I was in the Coast Guard, we had a part in stopping Cubans, Dominicans, and Haitians from coming into the United States. For the Cubans, we could deport them no matter what. But if Haitians or Dominicans touch soil, once they hit land, we have no way of deporting them.
That's like when you have food and you're like, I touched it, it's mine.
Yeah, pretty much.
My germs are on it. You can't. Just imagine a meme of like a Hispanic person like licking a beach, like I can go in now.
Oh, welcome back.
I switched phones because the other one
Wait, welcome back. We were talking.
It was funny though because didn't he predict that your phone would die? And then
That's true.
Exactly what happened.
That's correct.
That's Mara jinxed it. That's what happened.
Or men are just right.
How far are we in actually?
I can't afford to get a new battery for it. And since Apple's fucking retarded and doesn't let you change your battery yourself, they're like, no, we're gonna charge you another $100 to fix your phone.
Leaf, are you in Canada?
Yeah.
Because in America we get battery replacements for like $20.
Well, no, it's iPhone. It's Apple.
It's the iPhone.
They charge $100 here.
I'm telling you, man, it's that communism.
Fucking.
It's Justin Trudeau. It's all his fault.
It's fucking soy boy up there.
Doesn't help that the phone's no longer under warranty.
Mr.
So.
People kind.
There you go.
How old is that phone?
iPhone 3.
It's not old. It's a couple years old. Oh no, fuck you. I updated it. It's like your battery's disintegrated. It can only hold 56% of charge, and it doesn't even hold that.
Damn.
The battery's disintegrated.
That's what it says. They said the battery is like so bad that it can't even hold its charge. It's like you need to replace your battery. You can contact Apple for that because if you go to an unofficial Apple battery replacement store, that means your phone might not work because it needs to be all official Apple products. So thanks. You're real.
I think the Hapa Ethnostate should have their own phone.
Yes.
Not Apple, not Samsung. We need to make our own company.
HTC.
What, a Hapa phone?
What do you wait? Wouldn't Samsung be your phone?
I mean,
No, we'd get Huawei.
We should make the iHoppa.
They serve us pancakes too, while
Hey, you know what? That's a great service. I'd go to a phone company that did that. You know, fix their phone, go in, get a couple flapjacks.
Yeah.
Jeez. I don't know. We both have iPhones, so
I'd be able to deal with this if, you know, the chargers weren't broken and if I could afford to get a new one, but I have to put that money away for a fucking passport. So everything's just shitty.
yeah. Good old phones. I remember when I used to have an iPhone 2.
iPhone 2?
No, I'm just kidding.
I remember when I never had an iPhone because I'm not a loser.
I remember when net neutrality was still a thing.
Oh, I love Agent Pie. He is my hero. I swear to God.
Wait, are you guys for net neutrality or against it?
I'm
No,
for
we
the
were-
repeal of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It was funny though because the funny thing was, and I didn't make a video about that. I made like a Twitter video, but it was funny when a lot of YouTubers were for it, like they were for net neutrality, and I'm like, the fuck, like.
Well, see, that's the thing. A lot of people don't know actually what's in it. It's kind of like Obamacare, where like, oh yeah, this is what it's supposed to do, and nobody ever actually read what was in it.
Dude, did you see? We have a video of our Obamacare in our YouTube channel, where Obamacare. I was going to get a refund, but dumb fuck Obamacare. Hey, guess what? You get more money, you stupid fuck. If you don't have health insurance, you motherfucker. Hey, fuck you. More money.
See, that's actually unconstitutional to
Force
what
people
Obama-
to buy a product.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's completely unconstitutional. It's unconstitutional, just like property taxes are unconstitutional. It'd be like saying how Britain has a TV license,
Right.
where you have to pay taxes every year.
Technically,
Just
we
to
have a
own
TV
an,
license.
In the US.
So,
Yes, we do.
so-
It's factored into the price of a TV.
So my whole thing with net neutrality was, like any normal person, I went to the internet, looked it up on Google. The very first page I found, it made net neutrality all about social justice. It was like it was like, oh, open internet allows people. It's crazy.
Well,
Do you
what
remember-
people don't oh, sorry, you go ahead.
No, I was just gonna ask. Do you remember what website that was from?
Yeah, I'll link it.
Okay.
All right. Well, so basically, what a lot of people don't realize, though, is that basically what net neutrality did was allow Google to offset the majority of its cost onto the user. So instead of instead of Google actually paying its own internet bills and shit,
Right.
it would force a lot of the average consumers
Yeah.
to pay. That's why a lot of people saw a lot of their internet bills go up. So it's just a case of the uninformed, and it's just stupid people that
Hello.
Oh, hi, Jess.
Hello.
Sorry. Hi there.
Hey, Jessica, what's up?
I'm good. How about you guys?
Hey, it's finally cool that you can join us.
Yeah, I'm happy to join you guys, and I'm so sorry that I interrupted somebody.
Oh,
Yeah,
you
we're talking about-
interrupted serious business.
Yeah, we're talking about net neutrality.
Net neutrality? Oh, that's like something that I have an opinion on that I don't know much about.
Awesome. Okay,
You mean like most of the internet?
Was that? Come again?
I said like most of the internet.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Continue what you were saying.
Yeah, please do.
Oh, what was I saying?
I don't know what you were saying.
I don't know. I forgot.
Something about net neutrality. You're
Something about
basically
net neutrality.
explaining what neutrality was. So you're basically explaining what it was.
Offsetting costs, Google users, something.
Oh yeah,
something like
it's why you saw companies like Google and Facebook and whatnot fighting for it so hard. It just allowed them to offset costs onto the average user, and the average person is dumb enough to believe this kind of shit without ever actually looking into it. That's why you have so many dumb laws and other stupid shit in that people fight for. And even when they're presented with facts otherwise, they still fight for it. It was just a disaster. And I think most people that are actually aware of it are glad it's for the most gone.
The technical details is net neutrality was forcing internet companies to treat all data the same. So they say without net neutrality, internet companies will throttle your data if you're trying to access a certain website, for example. That's not true. What's been happening is all data has been throttled to the speed of the slowest connection, essentially. So without net neutrality, data companies would allow faster connections legally. But because of it, they have to throttle everything.
Well, there's that too. There's also the funny aspect of that Google and Facebook and all these other people actively engage in throttling people.
Well, Google and Facebook aren't under net neutrality. Net neutrality is specifically towards.
Yeah, no. I'm speaking on the hypocrisy of it all, because some of the big groups that are promoting this and like, oh, don't you want not to be throttled? And you turn around and they're throttling a lot of other people. Google basically has like a vice grip on half of the internet, and will actively seek to erase your internet presence if they don't like what you do. But
So the link that Pat was talking about is on freepress.net, and I can screenshot it here so that we can see it, because there is one aspect that he was talking about where it was basically a racial justice issue for some reason. Yeah, so here. I don't know. Oh, that's loud.
The internet is a race issue now?
Basically.
Yep. The internet is racist. A thing that has absolutely no opinion is completely racist.
Too much.
That's why I like the internet so much.
Nope. Privacy.
I can just imagine in the next, just throw out any normal thing. And
you guys see the
racist? No.
The website?
No.
Okay. Right.
It says you're trying to present something, but we see you guys.
Well, we're trying to present. Okay, never mind. Just click that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Now can you see it?
Save the internet.
Yes.
Sweet. Okay, so thanks for the link, Pat. So this was on freepress.net, which I believe I've heard of that before, but may not. But I'm just going to go to the part where it's, why is this a racial justice issue? So, So, okay, the open internet allows people of color to tell their own story.
What is this?
I mean, are you fucking kidding me? Everything now is a race issue. Oh, wow, the internet. Oh, it's a race issue. Oh, my God. Yeah, so without net neutrality, people of color would lose a vital platform. Okay, so let's go back to this. Okay, so in 2015, the FCC created the legal foundation for real net neutrality. So basically what they're saying is the internet didn't exist before 2015.
You mean people of color had no.
That's true, too.
Yeah, before 2015, we couldn't use it. It was against us.
Yeah, there was no such thing as iPhones and Samsung Galaxies and all that shit. Oh, come on.
Well, the internet was invented by a bunch of white guys, so it's obviously racist.
Didn't Al Gore invent internet, if I remember correctly?
No. It was the concept came from the government, actually.
So it was a military project.
Even though he didn't.
The internet came because the military wanted easier ways to communicate during combat in case the
So-
usual lines of communication.
So what
and
you're saying is the internet is a statist conspiracy.
Oh yeah, it's a big statist conspiracy.
Well, also anybody who uses the internet that's not white is cultural appropriating.
Oh shit.
Fuck.
You guys are
It should be about patriarchy too. It can't just be white, right? It has to
Wait,
be
wait.
white males.
But we're libertarians and we're against. Well, some of us are libertarians and we're against the state and we're using a state-created thing. Shit.
Is it state created or state funded?
Well, it could be either. It was the concept was created by the state, so I mean,
So you need a free market internet. They have to build
free
right
market
now.
internet.
Anyway,
Anyway.
that was pretty much it. So that was just kind of funny how apparently it's a racial issue. Net neutrality goes away.
Well, when
Well,
I saw that, that instantly threw up red flags. Like, oh, people obviously don't know what they're talking
Red
about.
flags.
Red flags sound racist.
Commie.
No, they're commie.
Red.
So Twitter poll right now. I have a Twitter poll asking if Venezuela is socialist.
Oh, yeah.
And
I answered that.
right now it's at
What percent thinks it's capitalist?
7% think it's capitalist. 409 votes.
Nice.
Who is that 7?
So, according to Jordan Peterson, there was a study done on IQ. What was it about? Like in the military, you need a certain IQ in order to
join
be
the
considered.
military.
Yep,
Yeah.
and he says so. Anyone below that, basically, they can't positively contribute. So,
I watched that video in full. Yes.
yep. And then so basically, he said like apparently, according to that, then 10% of the population can't be in the military. So if 7% are believing Venezuela is capitalist, I mean, I think that's that 10% there, close to it at least.
Yeah, so they can't.
They're so stupid they cannot contribute to society in any positive.
Oh, worthy.
That was a fancy way of just saying they're stupid.
Hey, I had to back it up with some facts.
You had to
So
drop
stupid.
some Peterson.
Let's see. Where are you?
Oh, she's
Someone in the chat said, "You mean only 7% of Twitter is retarded? Seems low."
Well, it's a young poll still, so
I hate Twitter.
Hey, I'm half young, Paul.
good
I
one.
actually really like Twitter a lot. Like if I had nothing better to do, I can spend all day on it because my God, I crack up at like dumb things.
I don't like it because I
do.
keep getting banned.
Yeah, that is something that's pretty.
If you wouldn't keep getting mad, shut up about the Jews.
I don't even talk about them that much.
That much? Yeah,
That
okay.
much? See,
That
the
much.
fact that you have to like explain how little you talk about the Jews is concerning itself.
I don't like Israel.
to be fair, they control the weather, so
Oh, I remember that. Some was it a black Democrat or whatever? It was like Jews control the weather or some shit. I was like, okay,
So
A black
that's another
Democrat
level of woke.
one.
I was talking to some people yesterday. I said, if for some reason, just hypothetically, there's a world where humanity starts developing superpowers like mutants and stuff, SJWs are going to be all over that shit. Because people are going to have powers that people are going to say is like cultural appropriation or racist.
Yeah.
Like you're going to have like a white person that has the ability to like use other people's like Rogue. Remember Rogue from X-Men? That's cultural appropriation. She can use other people's powers.
If you think about it though, like if you look at X-Men and like how they kind of pit mutants against like normal people, it starts becoming very like, polarizing the way you would see a bunch of issues today.
Well,
That
Marvel.
was kind of the point of it.
Yeah.
Marvel has always been pro. What would be the term?
Diversity.
Yeah, pro diversity. Well,
Yeah.
fucking Stan. Okay, oh, this got into Jews again.
Yeah, you're gonna bring it to Jews because X-Men kind of was based on that.
But I mean, oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, like, if you look at the majority of comics, it has always been pro diversity in the essence of where you have a lot of people that are different, that are generally hated in their universe, and then usually come to be loved because they're not so much different after all, or some shit like that. But
or either that, or they like prove their worth by saving the freaking universe or something.
No one really cares what they say to the universe, though. That's the funny thing.
I have a topic that's worth debating. So I want everyone's thoughts on.
Whatever it is, you're wrong.
It might have something to do with Jews. Depends on how you look.
Oh my god!
Hey, I'm gonna like this.
I feel like everything has to do with Jews, depending on how you look at it.
Well, it depends on how nutty you are.
So, pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
Oh God!
I made a thread about this.
Okay.
One at a time. One at a time. So one person, you just give a one-word answer, yes, no, and then we'll go back because I want to know I was talking over because it's very important. We gotta know.
No, pineapple pizza is an abomination.
Wait, I didn't say go yet. I didn't say
That
go
was enough
yet.
to bring somebody out of a mute.
Okay.
Pretty much. Okay, so
Question.
okay, so the first person that will go is I'm gonna pick Pat. You go first. Yes or no on pineapple pizza?
It depends.
That's not yes or no.
Depends on what.
It depends on your definition of pizza.
Oh wait.
So yes or no on pineapple pizza? Hold on.
In the modern sense, yes.
Okay. Okay. Amos, you go next. Men go first. Okay.
So I was just so you know, I'm doing some Googling here. What kind of pizza do Jews eat?
Oh my god.
I believe they prefer the very, very crispy at the back of the oven.
Wow.
I was gonna say kosher, but you went there.
Hey. Jesus. Anyway,
They definitely eat it without their shoes on. So I would have to say no.
Okay, no, good.
Because
Okay,
Jews
Jess,
would, so I have to do the opposite.
Jess, you're yes or no? Pineapple on pizza.
Do I get a justification, or do I just have to say yes or no?
Just say yes or no, and then we'll go one on one because
This is authoritarian.
Okay, I'm gonna give an answer and then a very tiny explanation, and I'm gonna say yes because you have the freedom to take it off if you don't want to have it on.
There you go.
Ooh.
Okay.
Libertarian pizza choice.
Okay, so Leaf, you go. I already know your answer is, but go.
No.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. Okay, Mara, you're
really energetic about this. I'm gonna have to say yes. I actually worked at a pizza shop.
Who said that?
He's only saying this because he lives on Pineapple Island.
Oh, Mara
I'm
said-
from
okay, so-
Pineapple Island, by the way.
That's a
Okay, so
plan.
Mara said yes. Are you still there?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. So yes or no on pineapple pizza? Pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
I actually almost got stabbed over pineapple pizza, so no.
What?
No.
I worked at a pizza place and I brought the wrong
Oh,
pizza to
Jesus.
this guy, and he wanted to kill me. Real
Okay,
story.
So your answer is no then.
Yeah, definitely no.
Okay. So, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, that makes sense actually. Okay, so here's the count. This is the count. Okay. Pat, yes, that's one.
Mhm.
Amos, no, that's another one. Jess is yes.
You're not doing it right.
Hold on.
Oh my God.
No. Okay, so we have 3 yeses and 3 nos.
Well, then
Okay.
obviously both of us would break the tie.
Now, Well, obviously, but it's not about us.
Somebody needs to defect.
It's not about us.
So
I'm gonna ask Leaf first because she's very adamant on no. So I want to know exactly why it's an abomination. And I have a feeling she's going to go on for about 10 minutes on why pineapple pizza is an abomination.
Pineapple pizza is a fucking abomination. Because first of all, why the hell are you putting something so sweet that it overpowers everything else on the pizza on a fucking pizza? Two, even Gordon Ramsay agrees that pineapples don't go on pizza. And Gordon Ramsay, he's the god of cooking. You cannot just
hear that accent coming out. That accent's coming out.
Therefore,
Please tell me how you feel.
Pineapple pizzas are disgusting. I am so glad the inventor of pineapple pizza has died. I blame Canada. Canada is at fault for this fucking disgusting creation being brought into existence. I'm done. Pineapple pizza.
I don't know. I don't think I got your opinion.
She talked really fast.
Yeah, that was a pretty good answer. Very short. I thought you were going to go on for at least a half hour, but that's okay. So apparently, Liberty Doll says yes on pineapple pizza, but with only bacon. But so anyway, that's I guess what that's.
Hapa doesn't count.
That's a half yes, half no. Okay, so let's go with Pat. Yes, why do you like pineapple on pizza?
So I did a thread about this, kind of like
Right.
my boneless versus bone-in chicken wings thread.
Oh,
And-
there you
That's
go.
the
Oh,
And I did all the research, and so basically it depends on how you define pizza. So if you do the traditional sense where it's Italian and it only has red sauce, or a margarita pizza, or it's either red sauce with cheese and vegetables native to Italy, or a margarita pizza. Those are the only two pure pizzas. The rest are not traditional pizzas. Now, pineapple pizza was actually invented by a Canadian, so thanks, Leaf. That's all your fault.
yeah.
But
I hate pineapple pizza, and I do.
Probably don't hang yourself down because her people invented the thing she hates the most. But anyway, go ahead.
so if you don't consider pineapple pizza, then you can't consider anything else that is modern day pizza as well.
All right, so very
logical.
Very logical.
I like that
Yes,
argument.
very logical, like a Scotland.
Professor of pizza.
Technical.
Okay, so we went with one yes, we went with one no. Okay, so next I'm gonna go with Jess. Yes, why? And then
Why?
more
Why
detailed.
is pineapple on pizza okay?
Yeah.
Because if you like it, you like it. Okay. And you if you don't like it, you don't like it. If it's on there, take it off. If it's not on there and you want it, put it on. Like, I don't have like a real opinion on pineapple pizza personally, but
Right.
it's a free country. Do whatever the hell you want. Leaf will not die. Leaf will not die if you have pineapple on your pizza.
I feel
I
like
don't know. She might.
Her phone will die.
Yeah. There you go. Okay, so I appreciate that. Okay, so
Freedom.
next we'll go. So we went with the yes. Let's go with the no now. So now let's go to Amos with the no. Why is pineapple on pizza not good?
Well,
The Jews.
Oh god.
pineapple pizza is kosher. Therefore, the opposite of that
It's non-kosher.
is non-kosher. So no pineapple on pizza.
Oh yeah, well pineapple is kosher, but ham is not.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
Yeah,
wait.
but
That's why you-
ham
that's
is
why you
not
put-
pineapple.
Wait, no, you put ham and pineapple together, and then you got the
You
whole
can
line.
put ham, bacon, sausage, and pepperoni and make a meat lovers.
But you could do that too, or you could do
Yeah.
both.
No.
Disgusting.
Well, no.
All right, so Amos had his explanation, sort of.
And I didn't even say the J word. I said kosher.
Yeah, I didn't say the J word. Thank Christ. Thank Christ.
You cannot eat the pizza of the globalists.
What would
Oh,
Okay, so
the pineapple is making the freaking pizzas gay.
Oh God! Oh no!
Okay, Mara, you're the last yes. Why is pineapple on pizza good? And Leaf may break up with you. Go.
Because I said so.
Oh.
The Stone Cold Steve Austin answer. That's right. Awesome. Great. And that's the bottom line. The Stone Cold said so. Correct.
Yeah. See, here's the thing, though. You say it's tied, but I say Leaf's vote doesn't matter. So, boom. Yes. There you go. There's the tiebreaker.
No.
He's not allowed on. You're not allowed to hang out with her anymore. Okay. The last no, and you. So can you go more into detail on why he wanted to kill you over pineapple pizza?
Okay, so pineapple pizza sucks, but there's two types of pizzas at Papa John's. There's this one called the Blue Hawaiian that has blue cheese on a Hawaiian pizza. Probably the grossest thing ever.
Okay, that's cool.
I mean, here's a question about the Blue Hawaiian: is it more gross or less gross than a blue waffle?
I don't know what that is, but
no.
You don't want to know what that is.
It's blue waffle doesn't exist though. So.
Your eyes will melt at the sight.
The blue waffle doesn't exist though, so I'd go with the blue cheese on a pizza. Who puts blue cheese on a pizza on any pizza?
Yeah, so I accidentally gave him the blue cheese pizza, and he didn't want it. And
I can understand why.
These two Mexican guys come out with a pit bull. One of them rips their shirt off, and they're all yelling at me. And I'm like, dude, I'm just coming back with your other pizza. But yeah, they're trying to fight me, and they're like half my size.
Of course.
Yeah, of course.
Chihuahuas.
But yeah, I mean, I don't want to die over pineapple pizza. So yeah.
Yeah.
It's a traumatizing experience. That makes sense.
Trying to fight over a wrong pizza. That's so dumb.
Well, did you see that video?
You're dumb. Pineapple pizza loving degenerates.
Oh,
Papa left us.
They left their own stream again.
They didn't like the answer.
By the way, real quick, who on everyone's Asian side? Who's actually Chinese here?
I'm part Chinese.
Like verified.
Verified?
Verified
check mark Chinese.
I got the
well, no, I have
ancestry
to ask
Chinese.
because if you're Filipino, you're like a lot of other Asians.
No, like actually like from China.
Okay, no.
Yeah, that's me.
Oh, okay. Well, we got one other one, I think. Because I was wondering, I think because Shane's Korean. Oh, that's right. Nico's quarter Chinese.
Yep.
You know
I'm Japanese.
You know what's funny? I don't know what you guys were talking about, but we were talking about something completely different. So
we were talking about who's actually like half Chinese here.
Oh, who is
I'm not half.
Oh, you're like a quarter?
Part.
So yeah, I'm half Japanese and then I'm part Chinese.
Like a quarter?
No, less than a quarter.
Who's Chinese in the family?
My dad is.
So that'd be half then.
No, like he's a 16th, or he's an 8th Chinese, so that makes me a 16th Chinese.
Oh,
so I'm like
16th Chinese.
Yeah, it sounds funny.
So it's just enough to give you the eyes.
It's he's
well,
got the
no.
story.
And if Chinese own casinos, you'd get the profit share. At least that's how it works with Native Americans in Minnesota. I think it's like a 60.
Oh yeah.
What's your racial mix? Because you were saying it before. What, like, can you say it again?
Yeah, so I'm half Japanese. I'm part Chinese, part Irish, part Scottish. And,
everyone's part Irish.
Yep. yeah, just a bunch of European stuff.
And what about you, Jess? Because I know Amos and Pat and Leaf, we know that you were on the last live stream.
White, so.
Okay, so what's my racial mix? Let's see. I am Japanese, Filipino, that's pretty much it for Asian. I'm also Spanish, like
Colonizer.
Spain. Yeah, right. There's a maiden name of Balboa in my family, so
Rocky.
Dem
Yeah, you're a boxer.
conquistadors. Dem conquistadors. And let's see, what else am I? I'm also English, Scottish, French, and Native American.
So
Well,
it's
that's like like a hodgepodge of people that fucking hate each other. That's
Yeah.
is one parent like more white and one is Asian, or is it both of them were mixed?
Both of my parents are mixed.
Uh-huh.
So like my mom is Japanese, Filipino, and Spanish, and my father is the English, Scottish, French, Native American.
Yeah, that's a crazy mix.
Yeah. I like to tell people that I'm like Heinz 57 Kikoman. Because of ketchup and soy sauce.
These are crazy mix too.
Yeah. Chinese, Scottish.
we have 2 leaves.
Oh my goodness. Yes, we do.
On both phones.
We have 2 Umbra leaves.
Oh my God.
2 leaves that can't talk. Great.
They're both gonna complain about pizza at the same time. It's fine.
It counts as 2 votes against pineapple pizza.
No, we already been over this.
Voter fraud.
Oh yeah, we were
Recount.
talking about chicken wings.
Yeah, bone in or bone
Yeah,
out.
we're gonna talk about well, okay. Another vote. Oh. Did Pat leave?
Yeah, he dipped out.
Oh.
Did go. He just like last minute was like, okay, I gotta dip out. Night, y'all. Click, and I'm like, what?
Wow,
It must
I
have
really
happened.
didn't. I didn't hear that at all.
I think it was because we were talking about the Jews.
Yeah. That must have happened with.
People get busy with
Well,
communists.
because we got cut out and
Mm-hmm.
everything froze on us. That's why when I was saying we came back, you guys were talking about something completely different. But anyway, so
He's got
okay.
kids and stuff.
Yeah, that's
You mean
true.
8 kids.
Yeah, so we got So how many do we have in here? 5?
Well, Leaf is there twice.
Wait, what?
Oh, okay. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Okay. So the chicken wing debate: bone in or bone out?
It depends on the situation.
Bone out.
Boneless.
Yeah, boneless.
Okay. So
My opinion is that chicken wings are good, regardless. Yummy.
If it doesn't have the bone in, it's not a real chicken wing.
That's true.
I agree.
hold on a second.
Boneless chicken wings aren't even real chicken wings. Like they're a lot drier than actual chicken wings.
Oh, boneless chicken wings taste pretty damn good.
No,
Okay,
they don't.
Yeah, they
Hold on
do.
a second. Wait a second. Wait. Okay, so Amos, you go first. Bone in or bone out?
Boneless.
Whatever. Okay, so boneless. Okay, this isn't working.
What are you writing on?
Boneless. Okay, boneless. I need a piece of paper.
Leaf seems to be having problems.
You know, like the real important issues of the
Okay,
Hapa Ethnostate.
Amara, you next.
Well, you get more meat with boneless, so.
Oh,
But
more
it's
meat.
not real chicken wings.
Now, here's an interesting point to be made for saying boneless wings are not wings. There are plenty of animals that have appendages without bones in them. So what makes a
Unfortunately, chickens are not one of them.
I don't know. Didn't they make like beakless chickens and stuff?
What? That's pretty
Weird
messed up,
genetic
bruh.
testing?
I mean, I would like someone in the future to make literal boneless chickens. Just,
Just like
I don't know how that would work out. That's it.
You'd have to
or
remove
chickens
them
with
everywhere.
boneless wings. Like they come out, they have a full body, but these like flapping.
Oh, poor thing.
This is cruel.
Well, it
Terrible.
sounds better than balut, so. Mm-mm.
Oh
Yeah,
my
yeah,
goodness. Did you just say balut? Oh my goodness.
She knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
No, that balut.
the chicken embryo.
Balut's a completely different issue, Jeff. But we'll talk about that in like 5 minutes. Anyway, bone in or bone out? Jess wings. Bone in or bone out?
Oh man. To say bone in and bone out would indicate that there is a bone regardless. But anyway. I don't personally, if I go to like Buffalo Wild Wings, I get boneless wings because I like the idea of, not having to fight bones. However, I must say I kind of agree with Leaf in the idea that boneless wings are not technically wings.
Just like chicken.
They're like, that's why I was thinking of just saying like, I really love chicken nuggets.
An airplane wing doesn't have bones in it, and it's still a wing.
It has a frame.
So bones.
Okay.
What are bones? They're a frame for the body of the critter.
Bones are a social construct.
Bones are racist.
Although I must say though, I really like the taste of like traditional wings. Like,
You
oh
like,
my god.
Whoa.
you like that?
Oh.
All right. And Mara likes them with the meat. Oh, anyway.
So
Okay.
what
So
you're saying is you like bone in your mouth.
Sexual harassment.
okay, Leaf, your turn. I already answer again.
What?
Bone in or boneless?
I've already explained my position. The only type of wings that are actually good are the ones with the bones in them because they're not dried out fake chicken wings like the boneless ones.
I've rarely had dry like boneless wings. I don't know what's going on here.
Really gross.
Okay,
They're not as moist as the ones with the bone in because those are real chicken wings.
Well, okay. See, the thing of when you cook meat, when you add the bone in, the meat is generally a lot more moist, and it does get a better flavor from the marrow of the bone. So cooking with the bone is generally better for flavor, but
yeah.
The flavor is not the same as with boneless chicken wings. It's a different flavor.
They're obviously completely different, kinds of meat. I mean, I think boneless wings, are made from breast meat, and obviously wings are wing meat, and wings are considered a dark meat, and they usually include the skin on it, so it's going to be more moist.
White meat is healthier.
It is healthier.
Boneless wings are
It's not
better.
as tasty as dark meat. And white meat, often people don't know how to cook the white meat, and it tastes drier because they overcook it and they dry it out.
I don't know about you, but my white meat tastes the best. So
shut up. Shut your mouth.
Shut your mouth, hole. What are we, 5? Anyway,
Yeah, you're 5.
Okay, so Vesuvius, do you like boneless or bone in?
Boneless. I like stabbing things with a fork.
Nice. Okay. Boneless. Yes.
Kebab.
Congratulations.
Boneless wings are cruelty free because you don't know that there's bones in it. It's just meat.
Okay, so what's your vote?
You asked it before.
Let's go without a New Year vote was yes, since I didn't ask, but what's your vote?
You don't honestly know. If you don't know, this is going to be a problem.
No, what is it?
Trouble in Paradise.
You can't guess.
I'm gonna say boneless.
Bone in.
Ooh, bone in. Oh. You know what I'm talking about. Oh.
Now he's 5.
We don't need to know what you're doing after the stream. Come on.
Okay, so we already so we have boneless 1, 2, 3.
Though I'm sure some people who like tummy picks will want to know.
Oh no.
Wait, what did you say?
Tummy picks that Nico always shares. What's it called? The requests for them, rather, not the picks themselves.
I had a serious problem before where I was getting hundreds of messages asking me to send tummy. I was like,
better than people harassing your feet. There's
I got requests for that too.
there's this black dude that messages me on Facebook all the time trying to get me to send him pictures of my feet.
Wow.
Okay, so someone in the chat said if someone came into the stream right now, they think this was a talk about orgies.
Oh, wonderful.
I mean, we are trying to populate a Hapa ethnostate.
Yeah.
Yeah. So are all you dating Hapas?
No.
I don't think I've ever dated a Hapa.
Well, it's not helping us.
I am a prime candidate for the breeder corps. I'm completely single.
Oh, good lord.
Well, would they be Hapa by definition? Or do they have to be half?
Well, we're accepting quarter Asians and 3/4 Asians. So
we're not Hapa absolutists.
Yeah. Yeah, Hawaii though is like the land of the Hapas.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, and also the land of the commies too.
Yeah, I know. I grew up there.
Don't remind me. Oh,
but then we were talking like if we wanted to take over for the ethnostate, it wouldn't take much. Literally just one handgun, and we take over.
You know what's crazy though is that there are actually quite a few like libertarian types in Hawaii though. They just don't go out and vote.
Well, because there's nothing to do. Like the state's like fucking what is it like 80% blue? So
yeah,
there's no point in trying.
I think I made a video about my experience going to Hawaii for Christmas, talking to people, and I think I specifically said that like Hawaii is as blue as the ocean that surrounds it. Because it really is.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much.
If you were to look at the red and blue map, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference between Hawaii and the ocean.
Oh, they want someone in the chat says other places hold office. No, only half Asians can hold office in the Hapa ethnostate. But we can have white people and Asian people there. But they just can't hold office.
Or citizenship.
Yeah, they have to get a visa.
Oh, they have to get the visa for breeding purposes. Got to come in and
no.
breed.
No.
They can get residency. They can get residency, but never citizenship.
Their kids can.
Their kids can if they breed with a white person.
They can have anchor babies.
Anchor babies.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be really interesting if we took over Hawaii and they had anchor babies for the ocean.
Get it?
Like, that's part of the reason why I said it, because like we're on an island and we're surrounded by the ocean. Anchor.
Wait, do you still live here?
No, I don't. Not anymore. I moved away in 2014.
Yeah, well, everyone fucking wants to move away. It's a shithole.
Oh yeah, like my experience in Hawaii. I mean, I would never like change it, right? Like it's not like I'm thinking, oh, if I had a choice not to grow up in Hawaii, I would not have grown up in Hawaii, because I learned a lot of valuable things growing up in Hawaii. But the truth is I started a family there, and my husband and I had our first 2 kids there, and we just couldn't do it on our own there. We had to like live with our parents all the time. And it was terrible.
It's so expensive.
Well, the job market's probably terrible there.
It's horrible.
I mean, it depends on what you're going for. Like obviously in hospitality, they're always hiring. For one, there's obviously there's the economic demand. For 2, hospitality has a really high turnover rate. Yeah. Because it's like it's just one of those fields that unless if you're doing management, it's not a forever job.
So it's like the McDonald's of Hawaii.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
And then I've actually worked hotel security over there too, and lots of people that come regularly to Hawaii, but they never live there because they have brains. Don't live in Hawaii.
So Hawaiians don't have brains?
I mean, people, if they want to be as successful as they possibly could, unless if there's something that they can only offer to people living in Hawaii, they should probably leave for a little while at least. Because there's not much of a future there if you're aiming for something higher than Hawaii.
Well, like shit, I live in, it's not quite the ghetto. I live in the nice part of the ghetto. That's where I live.
Oh, would you, at least what island are you on?
Oh, I'm on Oahu. I'm not going to say where I live though.
Oh yeah, no worries. I wouldn't expect you to. I lived in Aiea.
Oh, ooh.
Yeah. I live like right where Aiea and Pearl City meet.
That can be a bad.
That's near Pearl Harbor for anyone who's wondering.
So how does that work in terms of like what's different between the islands there? Like one island or like this.
Population,
distance.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I've only been on Kauai and the Big Island, and obviously, yes, the population is a huge difference. Oahu's like the commercial island. The Big Island is nice if you want quiet. You want quiet, you go to the Big Island. Kauai is the same way, but Kauai's also got like some of the world's best beaches. So I had a boyfriend over there, and I used to visit him like once a month over in Kauai, and they have like really, really nice like landscapes or scenes, like that kind of thing. There's a reason why they call it the Garden Isle, and it really is the Garden Isle. Another difference is the fact that it's gas is really expensive on the other islands. Like if you're ready to pay $5.40 a gallon.
Holy shit!
Yeah, that's bad.
Well, is it just because the supply is so low, so they have to make it high because
transportation costs, right? Importing it to Hawaii, I think, is one of the main things. I'm not too informed on
just about everything is imported.
Yeah.
So
it seems like a lot of the cost has to do with like them importing it, so they have to make up that cost. Yeah.
So it's a sustainability thing, I guess.
For the average item, like if you're talking like grocery wise, add on like $2 to $3 generally for the cost, and
so if you want a flat screen, it's only $2 or $3 more.
They said typical grocery. Goodness.
Typical.
Yeah, like a gallon of milk is like $5 there.
Oh well, no. Gallon of milk is $5 if you can get on base, or in like Target for certain else. If you go to other areas, it's generally like $6 to $7, even $8 in some areas.
Yeah, because my shopping place of choice for groceries was usually either Walmart or Safeway, and Safeway obviously had the more expensive stuff. So I recall paying like $6 for a gallon of like the red cap, the whole milk. Yeah, whole milk. So what?
I can't even drink milk, so that's.
Oh, that was my kid, by the way. I don't tend to drink milk.
Careful, if we drink milk, we could be racists.
Oh yeah, that's true.
That's why I don't drink so much milk.
The beverage of the alt-right, guys.
Yeah. I have my tiki torch in my closet.
Oh, okay.
You need to get those mosquitoes out of the way, right?
Oh, dude, Hawaii had
you're in Hawaii, right?
So what you're saying is your tiki torch needs to come out of the closet.
Every Friday, it wants to go out and show itself to the world, man.
Get those khakis and polo shirts.
You know what?
Hey,
though,
man, you know what?
That like. Oh,
khakis
go ahead. Sorry.
And polo shirts are nice.
Hawaii has a lot of gay people.
Oh god. Well, Hawaii also has a huge STD epidemic, so
yeah, that's true.
Like I said, easy to take over.
Yeah.
Oh, gross.
I don't know if you'd really want to take over Hawaii.
No. We would outbreed them.
You don't want to.
You don't
breed
want
with
to.
the-
He just said STDs.
No. We, without STDs, outbreed those and gay.
Oh my goodness.
I think the Japanese already tried that and it didn't happen.
Yeah.
I mean, they keep killing themselves due to dishonor, so.
Seppuku.
You dishonor your family.
Yeah.
That's why
I had family that lived in Japan for a long time, and I used to talk to them a lot. And there's like some things that are good about Japan, and some things that are just like no. No. One thing that I don't really care for in Japan is there's like positives and negatives to this, but their whole view on like work and stuff, like they work really hard. Like they're extremely hard workers, but almost to a fault.
Like they can't have fun.
Well, you
no,
can't
the
switch
thing
jobs there.
is they're the kind of, they're like work hard, play hard kind of people.
No.
Right? So like men will go to work for like 14 hours a day. And then like, I mean, that's obviously an exaggeration, guys. But like, you know, they'll go to work for a really long time and then they'll like, it's like normal for a man to work all day and then like go to the bar and smoke some cigarettes and have some drinks and then go home.
Oh, so not that hard. They're not like going blackout drunk.
Well, it
Oh, they
depends
can
on
party.
each individual, I suppose. But yeah, they do party. They have like crazy party scenes.
All right, well,
Yeah.
Well, they
Um,
have these like individual bars too that they'll drink at, which have like 4 people. So it's like your bar, and no one else is really allowed in it.
Mm-hmm.
fun.
I think, aren't Koreans like that too, though? They're the kind of work hard, play hard kind of people.
Yeah, some
Yeah.
of them that I know.
Every now and then they make peace.
It's funny you mention that. My very first like boyfriend was a Japanese and Korean guy, and after a while, his mom and dad just like hated each other.
Oh my god.
That's
like,
not surprising.
Yeah, his dad is Japanese and his mom is Korean.
I tell you guys, I wake up every morning wondering if I should build a railroad or not, because one side is telling my other side.
Yeah.
We
Okay.
build a half railroad.
Have a railroad.
Like half the track, not like the whole thing. It's just the one.
That's like a
Yeah, so half a train has to go on it.
It's the unit train. It's on one wheel.
oh my god.
Dude, have you guys ever
Sophisticated.
like tried picking up a railroad tie?
A what?
Those
Mm-mm.
things are
Those
a
are
railroad
heavy.
tie. You know the
They're
bars
like-
that are in between the rails.
No.
They're like
Those-
at least a
Those
couple
things are
hundred pounds.
stupid heavy.
Are you
They
doing that
have
to
to
work
be.
out?
Context.
They're stupid heavy. Like my husband and my family were building a fence because we live on a pretty large piece of property, and they used railroad ties for like their fence posts.
Oh, okay.
That's pretty sturdy. Anyways, I'm gonna head off. Leaf is having problems with the hangout or whatever. So it was nice talking to you guys, though.
Yeah,
Yeah, have a good one, man.
Thanks for joining us. Good night.
No problem. You too.
All right, now that we got the non-Hapa off the stream, we got to talk business.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I know, right?
We can talk about Jews now, right?
Talking about,
Real issues.
the real issues.
Are we?
What's the real issue?
Fucking white
Building
people.
Hapa?
No.
What are we gonna do about those fucking whiteys?
If you would like to support the Hapa Ethnostate, go to patreon.com/
Oh my goodness.
You can donate to our Patreon if you hate white people so much. I'm just kidding.
That's why I said Patreon, because I figured like that's
Wasn't
And
H
it's not HA, it's HEI. Patreon.
Hey.
eh.
Hey.
make that funny?
And of course follow us on Gab.
Yeah. Mine. Yeah.
All the stuff that we don't have.
That's all right.
Steam it.
Steam it.
You know, I've
LinkedIn.
tried using mine, and I don't get it, and I don't want it bad enough to get it.
Yeah, I never saw the point of it.
You can Steam it.
Yeah.
Well, Steam is, to me, it's just like you blog.
I mean,
the more people go to your blog and look at it, the more money you make.
Yeah.
You'll make a lot of money, but
it's not as fun.
Yeah.
Wait, do you guys have a GoFundMe for the Ethnostate?
Oh, but we should start one.
Dude, that'd be so funny if I actually made money for that. And like,
my
oh,
goodness.
do this. Shit.
It's like, oh man, now we actually gotta buy a plot of land in Arizona or something.
Yeah.
And if they donate like 200, we can give them a piece of dirt.
Yeah.
Or like a what's it called? Jack Sparrow? Jawed it.
Yeah, that's all they get. They don't have
No, we'll give them a piece of the wall, the border wall.
They get their
What
name
will
on.
the border wall be made out of?
Oh no, we'll have like 10 different prototypes, and then people can choose. You know, it's like kind of like how Trump is doing the wall.
Yeah, I was about to say that sounds very Trumpian.
I was thinking we would have like multiple layers of walls, like Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
We should just go Dynasty Warrior style. Just have that giant, like, it's just a bunch of walls and they have to go through a maze.
We should have steal China's wall.
And if they can't make it through the maze, they can't come. They can't sit with us.
That reminds me of The Cat Returns, that one movie. The Cat Returns.
Mm,
Miyazaki, anyone?
Yeah.
No one?
Mhm.
I'm not sure.
Miyazaki, but you know.
Yeah, I guess Ghibli Studio, not Miyazaki. I don't know.
Like the guy that made Totoro.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
He didn't actually direct it, but yeah, he was Ghibli. Anyway.
Totoro. I love Totoro.
I grew up watching that almost every day. I was obsessed with it.
I know my kids watch it a lot, and it's funny because when I watched it, I was thinking they cut out certain parts of it from before. There was one version where they had those weird little white dolls.
Yeah.
But they don't have that anymore. They cut that part out.
Why?
Well, that's weird.
I don't know, because little kids can't handle the creepiness, I guess. I don't know. I came out fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Princess Mononoke is totally fine. Yeah.
Engraved in fire.
I didn't get to watch that one yet. I want to.
It's quote unquote his darkest movie.
Oh, okay.
Which one's supposed to be dark?
Princess Mononoke.
Princess
Wasn't Grave of Fireflies super dark, but that wasn't him, right?
No. No, it
I
wasn't.
think Spirited Away. Was it Spirited Away?
Yeah, Spirited Away is a Miyazaki movie.
That one actually
No,
scared me.
I'm trying to think of the one where I don't remember what it's called, but it's the one where a little girl's parents are turned into pigs, and she is that Spirited Away?
Yeah.
That was an interesting movie. It was interesting too. It was just kind of yep, the Japanese making weird stuff.
Yeah, no, right? And that part that freaked me out when I was a kid. I was like, oh my god.
Is there anything? I don't know why I just thought of this question. But is there anything Asian that you guys like in terms of music? Is there any Asian music you guys like?
Not really.
No.
I mean, I liked the soundtrack from certain video games, like Kingdom Hearts. I really liked the soundtrack from Kingdom Hearts, but that's probably about as by choice as Asian as my music selection would get.
I mean, anime theme songs are pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
Or I got into some of the Japanese music I used to listen to. At first it started with anime soundtracks, and then it went into other stuff, and I kept researching it. So.
I have a cousin who's insanely into K-pop and J-pop.
I was just thinking of K-pop, and I was like,
and she tries to dress up like them and everything. But the problem is my cousin doesn't exactly have the appropriate body type for that. Yeah,
It's a pretty
body positivity, young lady.
it's a pretty
Right?
ridiculous body type to try to get into, isn't it?
Yeah. And I mean, for my cousin, it's mostly just because she doesn't take care of herself, though. That's all. And you know, obviously, there's consequences for that. So, yeah. Yes, call me anti-body positivity. It's okay.
So, in the Ethnostate, we're gonna have H-pop.
Yeah, pretty much.
Pop.
Hapa pop.
That
Yeah.
sounds like something that you would name like a popcorn snack.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like a cereal.
And then we're gonna have. Did you guys ever watch? So there was a video on how Hollywood celebrities would do Japanese commercials to make extra money.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Did you ever look
I
up the
haven't.
Nicolas Cage ones?
I do know about the Nicolas Cage one. That's the one where he was making a commercial about like that weird Cheeto.
Well, he does the one about pachinko or whatever it is, the Japanese.
Oh yeah, those Cheetos are really yummy, by the way.
Are we gonna have him do commercials for the Ethnostate?
No, please tell me no.
I've seen Arnold Schwarzenegger do Japanese commercials. They're funny.
Speaking of like Asian commercials, there was like one that came off as like really racist. I'm sure you guys have seen it. It's the one with like the washing machine.
Oh yeah, I've seen that one.
It's like there's like a Korean chick or something that like pushes a black guy into a washing machine, and then he comes out and he's like a Korean like pop star looking guy.
See, if you think about it from the American standpoint, you took a minority and made him into a smaller minority.
I know.
So on the oppression hierarchy, it's actually
it's very progressive.
It is. Because you're making him more oppressed.
But have you been seeing the articles about how like Asians are part of that, like they're being included in the white privilege kind of thing?
We are the new Jews. We're going to be white people soon. Because Jews are white people now. Now Asians are going to be white people.
Well, soon it's only going to be blacks because of slavery.
Oh, Lord.
Like, it's just going to be white
like,
people and
no
black
other
people.
minority matters.
Oh, how dare you!
All these minorities are just going to get successful, unfortunately, except for one. And then I just caught myself halfway there. I'm like, so all the minorities are going to, oh, shit.
Well,
I think I'm
rule of the oppression kingdom, and that's what's going to be.
The
I think on that
kingdom.
note, I think we're gonna end the stream on that note.
Yeah, that would be
Good fun note to end it on.
I don't know. Amos is spitting some wisdom at the end.
Yeah.
Now people in the chat, say it, Amos. Say it.
Oh my goodness.
Guys, I got my ancestry profile. I'm like 2% African American, so I can say that.
Congratulations.
One drop rule, you're good. You got 2 drops.
Congratulations.
I really want to take one of those. It'd be interesting to see. Like, oh, hey, you have ancestors from that part of the world and that part of the world. Basically, you are the whole world.
Well, for me,
Did you guys ever watch? Did you guys ever watch how South Park did that?
Oh my god,
dude!
Look at the chat. Look at the
Come
live
on!
chat.
Come on!
What?
Anyway,
No.
we're gonna go ahead and edit it out before it gets any crazier.
Madness. Of course, Madness would do that. Jesus.
I know, right?
But anyway, yeah.
I can't see the chat.
Thanks everybody. Yeah, thanks everybody for everyone that joined and everyone that is here still. Thank you so much. We're gonna do this again if we're not, kicked off by YouTube. All right, so bye. Have a good night.
You too, guys. Catch you later.
Okay, bye. Okay, leave the call and then we can